Now let's talk about finding the high quality product sources. Now I talk about high quality because again, there's a lot of wholesalers out there who will sell you all kinds of junk. We want to focus on the highest quality products. Why? Because we want to help our customers be satisfied. There's nothing that satisfies customers more than having high quality products that meet their needs, that last, that they can brag about, etc. and etc. Also for you, you want to be proud of the things that you're selling. You want to look forward to selling them, and you stand behind them as well. So again, we're talking about just high quality product sources. But where do you go to find wholesale sources for products? Well, in this class, we're going to specifically talk about four things. One is finding them and communicating with quality wholesale sources. Again, they speak a different language. We're going to specifically be talking about um, uh, wholesale sources overseas, but they speak a different language, so communication is crucial. And they also think differently, so of course, the clarity of our communication is critical. And also, why? Because we want to make sure that we are the products that we're getting are the highest quality possible. That's why communication is very, very important. We're going to sample and test our products. In other words, to make sure we test them to know what we're selling before we put it out in the marketplace. And then we're going to be negotiating the best rates and terms. Once we found the product that we want, we're going to go ahead and negotiate with these wholesale sources, who are very flexible, by the way, and very willing to negotiate, so that we can find the right price point. So let's talk about finding and communicating with quality wholesale sources. In other words, where do you go to find these wholesale sources? Well, thank goodness nowadays in our modern world, the internet has made it very easy for us. There are two very powerful search engines created for wholesale sources in China. One of them, when you're sourcing from China, is AliExpress, which is sort of the Amazon in China, and the other one, which is the behemoth of all wholesale like service providers or product providers in China, is Alibaba. Now, of course, there are many more, but these are the ones that I want to focus on specifically. One, because I think they're the most user friendly. Two, they're the ones that are most used by Americans to source products that they ship over from overseas. And three, these are the ones that I like to use, and I just want to share with you what works for me and what has worked for me to be able to have multiple streams of income selling products on Amazon. So it starts by asking the right sourcing questions. Now, in the next video, we're going to actually go through the process of going through AliExpress or going through Alibaba and how to find the right sources for the product that we have. Now, granted, might have already the product in your mind. I'm going to pick a random product that we can actually search and see if we can find the best sources for that product. But most importantly, what you're going to do is once you identify a great provider or someone who provides that product, and again, you're going to do with you're going to talk to multiple providers because again, you want to have a lot of options, but you're going to ask them specific questions. These are the questions that I always send out to them, my first contact with these wholesale sources. What is the price per piece? Because sometimes they don't exactly tell you the price. Do you have the product available? Sometimes it's not available. They have to manufacture it. It might take 20 to 30 days to do it. You need to know that. How long will it take to have it ready to ship? Specifically, like we mentioned before, because hey, you want to make sure you know when the inventory is coming. What is the minimum order quantity? Now, of course, a lot of them, they don't want to do business with you unless they know you're going to buy a certain amount. Hey, that's why we talked about having a little bit of capital in the beginning, because we want to make sure that we can buy the minimum amount and make sure we have enough inventory to sell to our people or our customers. What is the shipping cost for the minimum order quantity? Because again, when you ship that first minimum order quantity, you want to make sure you know exactly how much it costs to ship from overseas to here. And granted, it's a lot more expensive than in the States, so get ready for it and have an expectation for it. But when you calculate it per piece that you sell and the price, and we're going to actually do either we have or we're going to do all that in our pricing calculator um, and expense calculator. After all, we realize it doesn't affect our ROI very much, and it's worth it. What are your price tiers and quantity discounts? Sometimes if you buy more, they'll give you more discounts. Can you send me the label or package design template? Why do I want that? Because if I can take that design template, I can add my logo to it, Like, go to Fiverr, get somebody to add their logo to it, send it back to them because they're already used to working with that template to design their packaging. All they have now is my logo on it. They can more easily design my packages for me with my logo and all of a sudden create my product. So, so I always ask them, can you send me the label or package design template? I also ask them too, can they add my logo to their unit? Because I like it not just to be on the packaging, I like it to actually be on the actual product itself. That way people can know that it's our product. Granted, you can get away with a product without a logo of any sort, just the packaging. You can still get away with that. But I think it's more classy and actually has more value when people can actually see that logo every time they pick up the product. And of course, last, what is the price and shipping cost for a sample? Because like we mentioned before, we're going to talk about in testing and validation, we need samples before we try to sell this product because we need to test it as best as we can before we back it up and start selling it to our customers. Let's talk about high quality product requirements. Again, we want to make sure that we have the right criteria for the products that we want to use, right? So what do? The easiest thing to do is to go to your competitors, find out what specific specifications they have for their product, do a little research on your product, find other specifications, what other people are looking for. Again, look through the reviews for your competitors, for the complaints, to find out what they have and what they don't. Once you get a good idea of all the specifications you want, start searching for the products on AliExpress and Alibaba. And again, we're going to go through a video on how exactly to do that. But you look for the specifications. Do they meet those qualifications? I also, on usually our follow-up communication, I'll specifically send out those specifications to make sure to confirm that they have them. Like they have the case, they have the color that I'm looking for, the material that I'm looking for, everything together. I make sure that they know it and I repeat it and I confirm it. And then I get my sample and test it to make sure everything is according to the requirements that I sent out. As a matter of fact, there is a really great book called China Importal ebook. That's the URL right there if you want to download it. I'm going to try to see if I can add it to this video as an addition to this video package. You probably see that, so look for that if you can. If I put it in with this video right now. But if you want, you can just go ahead and download it from that URL and get this ebook. And it's great. It gives you a lot of training on how to really go to China. What's the attitude, the due diligence that you should do when you're trying to find the right products from these wholesale source providers in China. And that one gives you a rundown of all the questions you should be asking, what you can expect, what you should be looking for, pitfalls that you should try to avoid, etc., etc. Now, we talked about sampling and testing, and this is by far one of the most important parts of wholesale sourcing. Granted, the temptation's going to be there to try to just avoid this, but I tell you, it happened to me before too, that I started selling a product that I didn't have I hadn't had the samples for yet until I started receiving complaints from customers because it was really a bad product. Until I got my own sample and realized what in the world did I do. That was my own mistake, trying to rush things, just trying to get it out into the marketplace as fast as possible. And I swore never to do that again. Now I only get the product after I've tested the samples. So get samples sent to you. And you could always negotiate a fee, a discount for your samples. Sometimes you can get them for free. Sometimes you get the shipping for free. Sometimes you have to pay full price, but it's all worth it. Again, it's part of the whole process of finding the best possible products that we can to sell on Amazon. Test those samples as if you were a consumer. I mean, you have that critical eye. Look at it like if you just spent $200 or $50 or $10 on this product, whatever the price is. Look at it with that eye because that is what your customers are going to be doing. So you're going to be testing for quality, for durability, user friendliness, like how well does it work, aesthetics, anything else, and also get other people to test the samples and give you honest feedback. And again, if you feel any type of hesitation, reservation during the testing portion, do not sell that product until you feel completely confident that the product is the highest of quality. So let's say you go ahead and you get your samples, you feel great about it, and you're ready to order some products. Well, once you approve the samples, it's time to negotiate the best rates and the size order quantities you want to have with these sources. Again, they'll put up a lot of what their prices are and what their size order quantities are, but generally they're very flexible. Why? Because they want to do business for you for a long time. So, especially if they feel you're going to be their loyal customer, they're very, very flexible. So, of course, what you try to do is try to see if you can get the best price possible, but again, not to reduce the quality. And if it was up to me, I would not mind paying the highest price I can for a high quality product because I know I can sell it for 3, 4, 5 times as much and make a great profit on it. Even though I spent a little bit more, it doesn't matter because my customer's happy, I'm happy, everyone's happy. So again, don't be cheap. Make sure you get but still try to negotiate the best rate you can. Usually, one of the best ways to try to do that is just order a higher amount of products, or search around for their own competitors, a real competitor that you can probably get your products from too. And if they give you a better deal, see if you can come back to this company and let them know, and they might be able to match it because they want to work with you. Um, we're going to be talking about later about testing and validation. Your first order of products is going to be anywhere from 5 to 10 units. Sometimes, you could even negotiate those with them. But the purpose of that first order is to just test the process of you ordering a certain amount from the wholesale source, and then seeing how the process works together of them getting it to you, the quality of the product, then put it out in the marketplace for testing. Generally, you can sometimes be able to come back to the wholesaler and say, hey, our clients, they had some reservations about certain things. If you're willing to drop the price, we'll be able to order from you. Otherwise, we have to go somewhere else, etc., and etc. So now the next exercise that we're going to be doing is we're going to go through the process of sourcing our products through wholesale companies in China. So we're going to look at, in the next video, how to go through AliExpress, one of my favorite places, how to go through Alibaba, and then how to be able to find the great product sources and how to communicate with them and to be able to get them to give you the best product and the best price and the best amounts possible.